when we were recording with Dad back in the day, this would be my amps, and I would be hanging out, and then the piano and drums. But now it's become the acoustic guitar and the vocal booth, and you can see, you know, the piano player, the bass player, and the drummer. This is where we cut the record, just like that.
Your old lady's the last to know, and you never know what hit you. There's a whole lot of bad news headed home. Pour my heart out till I fall over, keep 'em coming till I fall apart. Held together with duct tape and guitar strings, like a Mexican road case. Keep on rolling till the cardboard gives out, and I fall through the bottom again. Hit the ground running, run for your life.
Rock and roll blues, it's so satisfying for me because it's a culmination of the recording production aesthetic that I've built up over my whole career, you know, starting with Oath Turner's records, which we recorded literally outside. You know, some of these songs are really old, and some of them are brand new, and some of the songs I've tried to put on records before and they never fit in. But then over the years I realized that they were all fitting together. You know, this collection of songs sitting over here all fit together and were like telling my life story. The Zebra Ranch, Electric Church, and Fellowship Hall.
I get so excited after vandalize. Well, I get so excited after vandalize.
When I was 12, I found Black Flag. The 6-pack single was the first. I put it on the turntable, and it was like, oh my God, I found music from my planet. It was this guy right here. And then that Black Flag just turned me on so hard. I was like, oh man, this is the coolest thing I ever heard. I asked Dad to come in and help me figure it out. And because I was playing guitar, but I couldn't figure it out. And he couldn't figure it out. He was like, what is this? What is this crap? This makes no sense. What is this? I can't believe you found some music I can't relate to. This is not right, you know? And it was like, awesome, that makes it even cooler. Years passed by, and I was blasting all the records. And like, they would come to town, and you can hear about this in the lyrics, and Vandalize, mainly. They would come to town, but they wouldn't play all-age shows. They played the Antenna Club, famous punk club, that everybody played at, but I couldn't get in. Gone, the instrumental group, played a instrumental show at the record store, Peaches, and that's where we went, the four of us, the whole family. And we had this little amp, they were using like a floor tom for the bass drum, and Greg pulled a t-shirt out of the back of his amp and changed. Dad was like, I get it. It's like Captain Beefheart meets Ornette Coleman meets the Sex Pistols. A couple years later, when the Replacements come to town, he told me that the Black Flag that he heard through the walls, you know, that helped him see where they were at.
I work hard from sun to sun, sweat in my eyes till the job is done. Blew a few shots to get out of town.
My brother and I were just total products of the Memphis counterculture. Our father, he was a rock and roll musician in Memphis, Tennessee, and, you know, started as a teenager in the 50s, and that's like rock and roll teenage heaven. And he grew up with Sun, and he did jug band records, and he became like a session player in the 60s in Memphis during the folk music craze. You know, all the blues guys were rediscovered. Furry Lewis, Gus Cannon, Buck White, Reverend Robert Wilkins, Sleepy John Estes, Fred McDowell. And so the Bohemians were messing around with these blues masters, and they were playing the Memphis Country Blues Festivals at the Overton Park Shell. And that, like the Bohemians of that scene who were playing solo folk, they became up with the Neutrons. Well, that was our father's band. We grew up watching our father and his friends play this music. And they would play blues, folk, country, rock and roll, R&B, gospel, and they would just play loose and free. That is why I play music. As a little kid, I just knew, I was like, that's what I want to do. The Replacements came to town, and he made Pleased to Meet Me. And that was hugely influential on me, because I come in and I'm a 14-year-old kid, and I like put on my cool shirt, you know, and it was just in my closet. It was dirty, but I didn't I didn't care, it was just my cool shirt. So I put it on, and I go in there. And I remember when he comes to the second bridge, he's like, "You're the coolest guy that ever have smelt, not a notch on nobody's belt." And I remember sitting there cracking up, and so it was a funny lyric. You know, they would do multiple takes, and he would just sing different lyrics every time. You know, variations of different lyrics. And that bridge, "You're the coolest guy I ever have smelt," then my shirt reeked of just like cheap middle school cologne. Years later, he told me, I was like, oh my God. So I was writing the song Stone's Throw, and that line came across, "You're the coolest guy that ever has smelt." But then, smooth as an 8-ball rolling across the felt, I was like, oh!
Yeah, I'm the coolest guy you ever smelt. Smooth as an 8-ball rolling across the felt.
I knew I wanted to be a guitar player, and I was exposed to all this great stuff. Not just his record collection, all of the amazing musicians in Memphis. I thought it was my responsibility to study as much of these traditions as I could. The Center for Southern Folklore would have this festival, and all the amazing talent of Memphis would be there. There'd be the greatest gospel you ever heard. Billy Lee Riley, Jerry Lee Lewis would be there. Everyone in Memphis would be there showcase. It was the most beautiful thing. That's where I met Other Turner for the first time. And he's making fifes. So he had a little fire. He would heat up these metal rods. And so he would have his bamboo, and we'd cut it down. It would be a joint and a half of bamboo cane. And Sade still uses one of Other's main fife. He passed away when he was 94. And now Sade and I are you know, keeping our relationship together. And I know it just means so much to me. I adore playing with her. I remember another time I saw Other brought Sade on stage when she was just a little baby girl, and he brought her up and he lowered the mic to her. She was playing her fife, and he motioned to the mic, and then he just did this. I just thought that was so amazing. He's like communicating to his granddaughter that this microphone, you know, will take you all the way out there, you know, as far as your time allows.
I live out in the country, biggest yard you've ever seen. And my old lady, she'd like to keep it clean.
The thing is, like, when you're writing a song, the muse is like, there's a stylistic muse, like, oh wow, I got this thing, and oh yeah, that's a Motown song, or oh wow, that's a reggae song, or oh, I got this new song, it's kind of country, you know, or whatever, and then so I would go in the studio, it was time to make the record, and say, okay, this has got to be a country song, you know, I got this is an R&B song, we need the horns. But what I've figured out now is to apply the formula, and that's like basically hill country blues, with like rhythm and melody. I follow the stylistic muse as far as I have to get the song written and finished. Then I take it and almost look at it as if it was a cover song, like somebody else's song, but just break it down to rhythm and melody, and then just reapproach it in whatever style and aesthetic is appropriate to the project at hand. And with this, it was all about the acoustic guitar. So when I realized I wanted to make a solo record of these songs, you know, acoustic guitar is my true love. I mean, I play a lot of loud rock and roll, and I love that, but I don't really keep amps in my house. It's filled with acoustic instruments of all sorts. And I've been playing with the girls, Amy and Sade, and the upright bass and her drums, or her earth groove, man. I saw, you know, where I wanted to put this piece of art aesthetically, and it was so satisfying to go in there. And we cut the record in like 2.5 days, and I couldn't be more happy with it. You know, I was 39 when we recorded it, and it was definitely, you know, a guy looking back at his youth and still feeling youthful.
Hey, 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 have you heard the news? Hey, 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 have you heard the news? Hey, 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 have you heard the news? Hey, 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 have you heard the news?